Morning and welcome in. I hope you guys are having an awesome day today. I can tell you that I've had a good one so far, and it is the first day of Lent. It is the beginning Ash Wednesday for those of you that recognize Lent. I believe Ramadan is coming up for those that are in the Muslim tradition. I'm not sure as far as Judaism goes or any other world religions what you're recognizing at this point in time. But as we talk a little bit about insulin resistance, nutrition, and we focus in on those five. When you think about the five fingers, the five questions that I always ask: how are you eating? How are you exercising? What are your extra supplements? Who are you encouraging? And how are you elevating? This is that day for elevating. Even if it's a little bit more somber, it is about your spirit and your soul. I'm Coach Ken, and I want to welcome you in today. I know YouTube's kind of throwing things out there. So as you're coming in today, what is it that is on your mind today? I am doing intermittent fasting, as I do pretty much every single day, particularly in the morning. I find the benefits to be incredible. And during the season of Lent, I'm going to be doing water fasting in the morning. Traditionally, I drink a drink called Yuno Mate, and that has the incredible health benefits of that have been great. That being said, on this journey, it is also something that I'm denying myself as part of the Lenten process. I have a particular set of prayers that I'm praying as I do this as well, and inviting people to come and be a part of that. So as you're coming in today, hope you're doing good. I've got some work that I'm doing this morning, as I do kind of every day when I come on these lives. I know that YouTube is kind of a different format, and I'm constantly learning. Here at 50 plus, it is the reality of how life goes. So I'm actually going to take this one down. Let me see if I can remove that. I'm going to take that one down, and I'm going to throw this one up. There we go. So that way you kind of know this is kind of like an open conversation as you're coming in this morning, and I hope you're having an awesome one and doing well. I'm going to make that, I don't know, will it make it a little smaller? Don't think so. I am going to move this one down here. We'll put it over to the side. So yeah, so that's what happened with me and my wife, and we'll let that go. Good morning and welcome in. I'm Coach Ken. Welcome in today. Hope you're doing awesome. Let me know where you're coming in from. I'm up in Anchorage, Alaska on this first Sunday of the season of Lent. As you're coming in, welcome into the live. Everybody, welcome in, welcome in. Lainey, how are you? Where are you all coming in from? Where are you coming in from? I'm Coach Ken. I also go by the Wellness Preacher, Reverend Ken. I am doing great. Today is the first is Ash Wednesday, so it's the first day of Lent. This is my favorite. It's weird, but it's kind of like my favorite time in the Christian calendar. Now I know there's people of different faiths that come in through my live, which I love because I know. Thank you so very much. She is quite beautiful. I call her the beautiful Dr. G. So I am truly blessed, and I so appreciate that comment. But those of y'all that are coming in, I'm Coach Ken. I'm up in Anchorage, Alaska. Let me know where you're coming in from. And these are just some of my my life lessons. And I'm game. Throw it out there. I'm a nutrition coach. So if there's something that maybe you have, you're looking at things with your health. That's what we do here at Healthy Together and Feeling Great. But this is my unplugged live. I do both in the morning and sometimes in the evening. That I go live, and just having that opportunity, well, I appreciate that. We actually kind of aged in reverse. So if you look at the two pictures, this was us back in 2024. You can see the date. We were diagnosed. I was diagnosed with diabetes, and then she was diagnosed with pre-diabetes the very next month. So this was the transformation for us, and really kind of spurred us into doing what we do with metabolic health now and helping other people. And I know everybody's got an opinion. It's the one thing that I have found is everybody has an opinion. Now that we're in our 50s, I feel more like we're in our 20s. Our size of clothing is back to that. Where's the glasses? well, they're still here. They're still here. I have them. I still have them. But I don't have to have them all the time. It always just depends on the situation. I have a condition called ischemic optic neuropathy, which was caused by a stroke in my optic nerve, which was caused by insulin resistance. So all of those are things for me that relate to why I'm on this journey, and I'm here to help people that are trying to do that. And look, I took crappy care of myself in the years leading up to this. I didn't get here by accident. I got here because of my habits and my behaviors. Welcome in, folks. I'm Ken. I'm up in Anchorage, Alaska. Yes, this is Coach Ken, Reverend Ken, wellness preacher. This is Life at 50 Plus. So if you want to maybe sit there and throw some questions out to a guy that's been around the block a little bit, right? Been kicked around a little bit, been in the fight a whole lot, right? And it's not given up. This is the place to be. I hope you're having an awesome, awesome day today. And if you're looking for a piece of wisdom, this is one that I learned from a coach that I just gotten to know here recently. From New Jersey. Welcome in. Welcome in. I'm so glad to hear that. So, there's a right thing to do, but there's a wrong way to do right things. There are right things to do, but there are wrong ways to do right things. That was like, bam. I was like, dude. Now that was from a fellow that was 80 years old. So this old dog can learn new tricks. And let me tell you what, when you have an 80-year-old coming by, you listen. I would hope when you have anybody that's older than you that gives you a piece of wisdom that you will grab a hold of it. Yesterday we talked a little bit about trust and lies and kind of how that impacts us. But I want you to think about what is a right thing that you can do wrong. Oh, fun. Well, Lainey, thank you so much for being here. It's good that you're here. I appreciate it. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Would be totally awesome. Because I will be back here. So, just make sure to do that. Awesome. So good that you're here. I appreciate it. It's good to meet you today. So I want you to think about that. What is a right thing that you can do wrong? Think about that for a second. And I'll give you an example. Is that a dog? No, my dogs are downstairs. No, that right there. If you saw something move, that was a cat. That's our remote control dinosaur. So no, that one's not a dog. But you might have seen Zoe walk by. Awesome. Hey, welcome in. So, what is a right thing that you can do, but is actually wrong? You can do it in a wrong way. Let's say that way. You can tell somebody they have a booger hanging out of their nose, right? You can tell somebody, but you can do it in a wrong way. You can sit there and say, hey, you need to do this right there. It was good to meet you, Lainey. I hope you guys have a great day. You can do this, or you can say, hey, man, across the room, you got a booger hanging out of your nose, right? That's a wrong way to do things, right? So just think about it as you're out and about doing the day. What is the wrong way? There's a right way that you can talk to people about nutrition and health. I've got people, actually been in a conversation with a fella that is a carnivore. Now, I've got no problem with the carnivore diet. I think the carnivore diet is a great way to eat. It is not the way that I eat every day. There are days that I do carnivore and I have solid protein. But I coach people that are vegan. And I've coached people that are vegetarian. That is a good way to... Hey, Ronnie, good to see you. Welcome in. You're back. All right. Ronnie, where are you coming in from? Cordova. You know what? There's a right way to do it. Now, I've been in this conversation online that, You know what? It's all about, this is the only single thing you can eat. Hi, how are you? How are you, lady? This is the only thing. This is the only way to do it. You know, you've got to eat this way. You've got to eat like me because I know better than you. Well, I'm a nutrition coach. I reversed my diabetes and I went to school and I learned. I went to the classes, got my certification, continue to learn. There's a right way to say, hey, have you thought about the carnivore diet? That would be the right way to kind of approach the conversation. And there's the other way, the way that he approached it. Now, that does not make me excited about having a conversation with him ever, because there is a wrong way to say the right thing. The carnivore diet has incredible benefits. If somebody takes on a carnivore lifestyle, that is pretty awesome. That is a pretty awesome thing. For me, if you're on here and you want to hear about how it is, I'm going to talk a little bit about my journey, right? A little nicer because I'm going through some issues because my great-grandma passed away. I am so sorry, Lainey. I am. I guess I would need to know kind of what's going on as far as that goes. I do have a very simple book, and I know that anger and frustration can be a thing in grief. You see the picture of my wife. We are both widows. I'm a widower, technically is the term, and it's just easier to say widows. She's a widow. I wrote my first book called Life Sucks, Seek God. It's actually available on Amazon. I think it's $4.99. But in there I talk about grief. Grief is a hard thing, and the emotions that come with grief include anger. And I can tell you that my kids were both in high school when their mom passed away, and both of them, I watched them both go through it. It's a hard thing. Part of it is recognizing that you are maybe having issues with anger. Naming that is the important thing. To apologize, to be mindful in the moment that something were to come out of your mouth, if you were to say something, if you were to act, and you recognize that, is to immediately make the apology. You're going to. She was 96. It sounds like she was very important to you. And that's huge. I mean, somebody that's been that big a part of your life probably had a lot of things that have shaped you. So it's really important for you to recognize that loss, to name that loss, to even, I often tell my kids, and have done, is to journal, is to just take a notebook and to just put that out there. Get it out, because what's going to happen when you listen to me enough, you'll hear that we are just like the mouth and the gut have a microbiome. Your whole body is connected. So what happens in here, if you keep that in, or even when you let it out and it hurts people, that hurts you. That's going to hurt you physically and mentally, and spiritually. So to let that anger go, and I know you do. I'm sure that you are crying. And it's going to hurt for a time. There's nothing you can do about it. The best thing, if you don't have somebody to talk to, is to, coming in here, okay? What I want you to do is to be healthy with it, and to address that. The stages of grief are going to come. The anger part will pass. To be nicer, like I said, the first thing is to recognize that you need to name it, and that's key. So start there. Start there with that. That'll be the first thing that I'd say. All right. Just start with that one. Welcome in those of y'all that are coming by. I'm Ken. Go by Coach Ken, Pastor Ken, the Wellness Preacher, and we're talking a little bit about grief right now. But a big part of what I talk about is life. We are whole people. You are, Scripture says, fearfully and wonderfully made. So you have been shaped and you've been formed by God uniquely. And in a certain way, we're all very similar. We're all body, mind, and soul, and we can never neglect that. We are very much connected. One of the hard things was as a pastor, was during COVID, that by law, we were not allowed as clergy to go and to be with people in our congregation. Now, the studies show consistently, oh, absolutely, I'm a pastor. I definitely believe in God. So during COVID, we were told we couldn't go. But what we know is, and studies show, that people get better if they are people of faith, if they're allowed the opportunity to have their spiritual mentors come too. So awesome. Then you really will love my book. That'll be a big part of this, is that we've got to realize this. So this journey, and for me, the spiritual journey has been my journey for a long time. Back in my health journey, I really didn't take as seriously as I should have. I just thought things were going to happen because of you just got older, right? But when I was diagnosed with diabetes, and my wife, Dr. G, taught me, right? I tell people, I listened to my wife, and my wife saved my life. So if you want to listen to, and I'll tell you, when we first we got married, she asked me about medications that I was on. She's like, why are you taking that? Well, my doctor told me. She said, that seems like a lot of meds right there. Now, she's a dentist, but she's got the education. She prescribes medication. She understands that. She didn't let it go. Now, I came to understand this is huge, right? When we did an all-natural protocol to reverse this, and we teach people the lifestyle, Lainey, anybody in here, it doesn't matter. People ask me, I had somebody very acute, sir, would you teach your daughter this if you had a daughter? Well, I do have a daughter. She's grown now. I got her to adulthood, and yes, I would have. And I wish that I knew it when she was a kid. I wish it for my son. I wish it for my late wife, who passed away from colon cancer. That what I teach now, I wish I had done 30 years ago. I wish that I had known this 30 years ago. I wish that, but I didn't. I don't live in a wish world. What I can do is I can live this, and I can share this. I can live this way, and I can share this way, and I can help people on that journey. So here's what we did. So if you're looking for that, so spiritually, I've always sought God. That I take that scripture very seriously. I take that very seriously. All right, is to see God. There's my soul. Mentally, it's working on this. Yep, I have 2. They're grown. My wife has 2. They're grown. We have an empty house. We have 2 dogs, 2 cats, and a bird. So yeah. So here's what we did. When we looked at this, we looked at what is this lifestyle that we need to live. So there's 2 things to start doing. First is called meal sequencing. Now, this is important because it helps to control blood glucose levels. It helps to get you the full nutrients that you need. Hi, Kylie. How are you? Welcome in, Kylie. Welcome in. Where are you coming in from? Welcome in, folks. Coach Ken, Pastor Ken, Wellness Preacher. Welcome in. This is Life at 50. Throwing out there. This is my friend, and I told her about you, and she wanted to see your life. Awesome. Well, welcome in. Welcome in. So this applies to you guys. Now, I'm assuming, and I don't want to assume, you guys are adolescent, below the age of 20. I'll just give it a ballpark there. Don't tell me specifics, right? So I want you to be safe out there. But like I said, this is how I would have taught my kids. We want to eat in a certain order, and we want to always eat until we're full. We don't eat like little birds. We do fiber, fats, proteins. So we talk about eating, all right, 30 grams of fiber. This is so very important, all right? 30 grams of fiber, 60 grams of healthy fats, and 90 grams of protein minimum. Yep, awesome. Okay, I figured that was the case. Because people ask me about this. Now, I may be older, and most of the people that view my channel seem to be in the older range, but I find my lives, you guys are younger. I've had a few of the older folks that have showed up here my own age. But I was a youth pastor for 10 years, so I love hanging out with pretty much anybody. Good day, mate. How are you? Good to see you, my friend. Hey, let me ask you a question. When is Ramadan coming up? I had a friend of mine was posting the other day, and I didn't get to ask him because today is Ash Wednesday for Christians, but I know you're Muslim. So when does Ramadan begin? You guys are coming up on that one now, aren't you? So when we eat, we do fiber, fats, and proteins, 30, 60, 90. That's how we want to remember that. We do that, and that's the order that we eat. That controls blood sugar levels. So you eat until you're full. You're not going to be... Here's what I'm going to guarantee you. If you take this seriously, this is well, it's a guarantee, but I'm just going to tell you because I know it works, and my clients that I work with know that it works. Whether they do our coaching or our protocol and work with us one-on-one doesn't matter. What they've learned here is that it works. So that's going to control blood glucose levels. That's going to control weight levels. That's going to help you. You can tweak that to gain and lose weight. See, that's the crazy part about this. And you're not going to want to snack. Well, you may want to snack, but the cravings are not going to come. All right? The cravings are not going to come. All right, hold on a second. I've got to take my... Oh, it doesn't feel hot. Let me take my phone case off real quick. I'm getting an alert that says that my phone is too hot, and I know the case is on. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, it is a little warm, so hopefully that'll help it cool down. So I use the overheating, so we should be good. All right, that should help. All right. So, where was that? Oh, I was talking about meal sequencing. So we want to get about 1 gram of protein per our goal weight. So, and that's going to be key. And we're going to keep simple carbohydrates, things like bags, boxes, and bottles with barcodes, particularly sugary drinks. We want to get rid of that. Just stop. We want to get that out. If it's got sugar in it, it doesn't matter what age you are, that is not good for you. Like I said, I'm married to a dentist, so I know what it does to your teeth. But it's also increasing fat storing. Here's the thing, a little bit of biology. Your pancreas is what makes insulin. Insulin is your fat storing hormone. When you have simple carbohydrates, you have proteins as well. The insulin is storing that as fat. You cannot burn fat when insulin is storing fat. But the pancreas also makes glucagon. Glucagon is the hormone that tells the body, burn the fat. Burn the fat, get it off, and take the fat and send it to the liver and make ketones for energy. You've got the calories on your body. Your body will use them when you do that correctly. So, important, very important. All right. Now, when you're a teenager, particularly when you're going through adolescence, this is the next part of this isn't so much applying to you because it has to do with really and truly, it has to do with a little bit older intermittent fasting, which is, I still think you need to not snack all day. You need to eat correctly. Go for your 3 meals. All right. Give your body the break because it takes about 4 hours for blood sugar to come down. It takes 10 to 12 for insulin to come back down. So during your sleep period, your body is going to do the burning of the fat that it needs to. Lainey, yeah, I pretty much go live every single day. I usually go a couple of times in the morning. Yeah, so I'm usually here every single day. Sometimes I'm in the evening. Now, I'm going to hit a really weird patch here because we are not sure what tomorrow's going to look like. Our house goes on the market. We've got people coming to tour it tomorrow and then on Saturday. So we've kind of got a lot going on. So thank y'all for saying hi. Thank y'all for the likes and the hearts and everything. Going over, I'm offering other. They can be healthier. So it's a great question. So the key is exactly what I'm talking about. Thinking about fiber, fats, and proteins. Try to keep, for those that don't have that, is we want to continue to teach them protein. If there's anything to do, is protein would be the first priority, is to help with that. So if it's canned meats, if it's simply protein, protein is that key building block. If we can get that, particularly for folks, and I know, you know, there's going to always be argument. She is not. She is actually downstairs. She's actually not feeling well right now. So she had a rough night's sleep. So yeah, she's not with me right now. She would not want to get on live, but I appreciate it. We are hopefully going to be live tomorrow night here. I think we go live at 6 o'clock, which New Jersey, it'll be like 10 o'clock. So thank you. I will let her know that you said that. Thank you so very much. But good day, mate. So yeah, protein is a huge part of it, because most of what we get from there. Now I know that people will argue with me, but I don't know what kind of meats are available to where you're at. I think you were, if I remember right, in Bali. Yeah, her throat's really been hurting and coughing. Like I said, I often think about what's here in the States. You know, there's a lot of people who are like, don't do hot dogs. Well, hot dogs are a great source of protein. If that's what you have, that's what you get. I mean, really. So really focusing on protein. What we want to do is get away the processed crap. I know that's around the world. All the processed junk that we get, if it comes in a bag, in a box, in a bottle with a barcode, that's going to try to keep the sugary drinks away. We want to give them good, clean, healthy drinks, teas, whatever you can do that would help in that would be great. Good, healthy fats, yogurts and cheeses would be good as well. Also contains protein. So those would be great options. Welcome in, folks that are coming in right now. So we're talking a little bit about nutrition. We're talking a little bit about everything in here. So those of y'all that are coming in and then you're running away, don't be scared. Don't be scared. I feel like Home Alone. Kevin McAllister, don't be scared now. No one's going to hurt you here. Come on. Have a conversation. Let me know what the heck you stopped in. Why not say hi? Why not say hi? Why hide back in there and do nothing? You're going to watch somebody sleep and watch that for 10 hours in the day. I mean, what's up with that? You all right? Looks like I'm lonely right now. Looks like I'm lonely all by myself. People are scrolling back and forth doing your thing. So that's what we want to do. And intermittent fasting. So those of y'all that are on here still, or you're stopping by, so intermittent fasting is a very simple thing to do. Most of us are lactose intolerant, so our sources of protein will be meat and eggs. Perfect. All right, whatever those meats are, whatever you can get. Is there one that would be more? Is there any simple sources of fiber that you could add to that? Is there any type of fibrous vegetable? Southeast Asia. The last thing we want to do is, I know naan bread and rice are big things. If you can get the rice with the bran on it, as opposed to just white rice. We'll look that up real quick. Because that's got the fiber, and we want to get that bran right there. Your beans would also be good options for fiber as well. Water spinach would be an option. I don't know if these are available to you. Mustard greens would also be good. Cabbage, bok choy, okra, eggplant, and bitter melon would all be beneficial in terms of getting that fiber. If you do have fruits available, good. Okay, I'm checking with chat about that because I'm not familiar with that part of the world. The older people like to do about 80% veggies and about 20% tofu tempeh sourced from soybean. I would, they may want to do that, but if there are, for health wise, the amino acids, particularly for the older people, they're going to need that protein. So if you could move it, if you could just get that to 50-50, I would think if you could move that over, for them that are underprivileged, that because that protein is what's going to help those muscles. The fiber is not going to help build their muscles, and as you get older, that muscle breakdown is a big thing. Yeah, if you could do that, would be good. Tofu is a great option as well. But yeah, if you could move that tempeh, no, that's totally fine, Lainey. Absolutely. Make sure that you're having a savory breakfast, not donuts. We want to go savory. We want to prioritize proteins and fats there. That's going to be key. So just a little bit. I can go off about breakfast, but stay away from the sugary cereals, please. Please, please, please. That's one of the worst things you can do for your health overall. So yeah, those would be the big ones. Like I said, anything bean-wise, peanuts and cashews would also be a good option. That's going to give you proteins and fats. Apples, eggs, bacon, and cherries. Okay, there you go. Just put the apples and the cherries at the end, but never peel the apple. Never, always eat the peel in the apple. Always eat the peel in the apple. That's fiber. That's pectin, and that is great. Lady, you know, then don't. No. I was talking to my buddy Good Day Mate, who's over in Bali, who's on the live as well. He was asking about foods and stuff to help those that are that need help financially, that are needing assistance about how to eat healthier. So that's what we're just talking about. Yeah. So, but even here, if you're allergic to peanuts, if you're not allergic to cashews, would be a good option as well. Sweet potatoes would also be a good one. Sylvia, you're lovely. Artist, welcome in, Sylvia. How are you today? How are you? Welcome in. Mate, does that help? You're wonderful. Oh, that's great to hear. I'm so glad to hear. Always good to hear things. I'm a picky eater as well, but I try a lot of things. Well, good for you. I'm glad. That is a good thing to do. I've always been a picky eater. When I married my wife, she is from New Orleans. They eat everything in New Orleans, so I promised her that I would try everything. So I have a much bigger palate than what I did. My dad is a picky eater. He won't even eat things that, if he knows, it's the weirdest thing. Sylvia, you are not a picky eater. Okay, cool. Well, what is your what would you think would be something that most people are picky about eating? You love broccoli. Like broccoli as well. That is a great food. That's a great fiber to start the meal. Fibrous cruciferous vegetables. That's going to be a great one. I love that one as well. I like okra. Now that is not common. Most people seem to be very picky about okra. I love my vegetables. Good. I've learned to appreciate, after being diagnosed with diabetes, I've learned to appreciate fiber and the vegetables that I have around me, and to eat the ones that I like. That's the big thing, is to learn to eat what you're going to eat and what you're going to like to eat, what you want to eat, right? And to do it in that particular order. And Lainey, you know what? That's the crazy part about it. The way that I teach people to eat. Hey, Dracula, good to see you. My Hawk, good to see you. Welcome in. Where are you coming in from? Welcome in. So glad to have you here. Thank you so very much. Make sure as y'all are coming in that you like and subscribe, because I want to stay connected. And I'm Coach Ken, wellness preacher. So I'd love to have a vampire in the room. That's totally awesome. Over in Japan, cool. My daughter's in Japan. Somebody was asking me about if I had kids. My daughter is married and stationed in Japan. I've got to keep it that way. I've got to keep it that way, just for them. So, yeah. So what are we talking about? So even if you have junk food, if you have sweets and desserts, keep them at the end of the meal. Always make sure that you cover carbs with fiber. Here's one thing. So let me see which one of these. I don't want to clutter up myself. I'm more of a swordsman. Oh, okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to show y'all this one real quick. So this is one of the slides that I use. So I'm going to drop this in so y'all can see it. So this is our modern food dilemma that we have. Because we eat all the time, this is what's causing so many... I'm here for a month. I go back. Oh, okay, cool. I'm glad that you subscribed. So here's the thing. We eat all day, which isn't so bad, but because of the crap that we eat, that causes more of a problem. Back in 1980, this is going to give you my age, I was 9 years old. I was diagnosed with arthritis. Well, I ate a lot of processed foods. My mom was very careful about that, but we didn't know everything that we know now, because that's what science does. It's always learning. Well, here's part of the problem is, what's up, Zorro the Swordsman? So we've got Dracula, who's the swordsman, and we got Zorro the Swordsman. Like, we're not going to fight in here. No fighting. All right. So where are you coming in from, Zorro? I love Zorro movies, by the way. So apple is covered in pectin. That is a fiber. That is a key fiber. Always eat that, because in nature, everything that would spike your blood sugar, God created, or Mother Nature, however you believe. I will get to my favorite food. Give me a second. I have a lot of favorite foods, but when we eat that fiber, it closes. Hey, thank you, Hank. I am Mr. Clean. I try. My feet get dirty sometimes, but that's life. But welcome in, Hank. Where are you coming in from? I'm up in Anchorage, Alaska. Glad that you're here. I get a lot of nicknames on here. It's totally awesome. So make sure that, I never thought I would have that. I had another friend that would always go by Mr. Clean, but here's the thing. I have a goatee. I don't think he has a goatee. Favorite adult video? Hank, Propane Hill. Oh, I just got that. That's funny. So we want to make sure we get fiber, because when we have the juice, that is just spiking your blood sugar. It's just sugar water. Your benefits and the nutrients are all in that fiber right there. Same thing with the rice. We want to get rice with the fiber, not over here. Even in Asian countries, people say, well, they're not overweight. That doesn't mean they don't have diabetes. Diabetes is still about 50% of the population. What's my favorite food? Gosh, I love Mexican food. If there was a favorite food, it would be Mexican food. Living in Alaska now, man, I love the fish. Salmon has become, just one of those ones that I just absolutely love. Plus the amount of protein and the healthy fats, the omega-3s that come along with that, are just amazing when it comes to that. Zorro, I grew up in Japan, but I'm in Russia now. Man, this is one thing I'm just amazed. I love being on YouTube. There's so many more people from around the world that I get to meet. Good day, mate. Are there any explanations of why I usually get full from eating an apple, but not with it? Absolutely, I can tell you exactly why. If you're eating an apple and you have that the fiber, the fiber is key. That fiber is key because it helps you to feel full longer. The noodles they're a carb. They're just sugar. So when you eat that, it's immediately just becoming sugar. So it's not filling you up, but that fiber slows digestion. So that is key right there. Matthew 6:25, I say to you, do not worry. Oh, I love some good scripture. Do not worry what you will eat, or what you will drink, nor about your body what you will put on. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothing? Amen, brother. Amen. Right? Do not worry is the operative. Do not worry. It was a great story that I learned. And thank you for subscribing, Zorro. Somebody said, why is there so much suffering in the world? God, why do you allow suffering to exist in the world today? And God looked back at him and said, I do care. And that's why I made you. People shouldn't have to worry, because those that follow after Jesus, those that follow, should be caring for others. That is what we were called to do. That education, I'm not worried, but it is a responsibility that we learn and we teach people so we don't have to worry. I love Basteria. It's an Italian food because I'm 100% Italian. No, I've not heard of Basteria. Prince Stoles is back. Yes, I do remember you, Prince. You're over. Were you Russian? Were you in Russia? Somebody else in here is from Russia. If I remember right, you were over. Am I getting that wrong? I'm loving having so many people. I'm learning all people from all over the world. Lainey, so have you been to Italy? There's the question. Because we went to Italy and ate at, it's the only place I will ever eat. I had fettuccine Alfredo at Alfredo's in Rome. I've been there twice. It's the only place. If I can't make it the way they make it, I'm not going to eat it anywhere else. It's the only place that I have. It is amazing, right? Prince, you're in France now. Goodness gracious, man, you get around. You get around. Same. I love it. You sound like my daughter. That would be so. I can hear my daughter say that. I can hear my daughter say that's the voice that I hear. Thank y'all so much for coming and welcoming. I'm Coach Ken. I'm up in Anchorage, Alaska, and hope you're doing well. So, mate, did that help? You were asking. You're in my wheelhouse when you asked about that. About why is that filling you up? Because fiber does that. Fiber helps to stimulate the small intestines to make GLP-1, glucagon-like peptide. Valentino, how are you? Hola, my friend. Welcome in. So yeah, that's a huge part. So making sure that that you do that, because when you eat those foods, that's going to stimulate. When you have sugar, though, the thing about it is fibers convert and change their in the mouth. So those carbohydrates will do that. Fibrous food becomes a gel. This is why I supplement with this one. It becomes a gel. And we want that consistency, that viscous. Whereas simple carbohydrates, breads, rice, pastas, corn, and potatoes, they just simply become sugar and regularly are absorbed into the body. It's almost dead midnight here. Anyway, oh, mate, it's so good to see you. Peace to you, my friend. Peace to you. So glad that you came in. It's good to see you. I know you're trying to learn all the schedules and everything around the world. It's crazy. Although being in Alaska, I'm closer to Bali than I realized. Didn't really think about that. So, totally awesome. And make sure, if y'all have not subscribed, make sure before you leave that you subscribe to the channel, all right? I want to make sure that we continue to grow and we build this up healthy together. I want you to be healthy. I'm talking about body, mind, and soul in the heart. It's always kind of weird, you know, body and soul is right here, but we want to go right in here to the heart. I want your soul to be right. I want your soul to be right. So we got folks from a little bit everywhere. Totally love it today. Totally love it. Is that core water? Here, been subscribed. Yes, you have, Valentino. Lady, no, it is plain water. Plain tap water. I am doing, today is Ash Wednesday. My commitment for the Lenten season is to is to water fast in the morning. And I may still do more. Now, what I typically drink is Unimate. This is what I drink, water in Unimate. Oh, Valentino. Oh, man. I don't, man. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I do not, man. You know what? That's what happens when you get to 50. Although my memory's getting better. I'm working. Spanish is the hint. So is it Mexico? Are you down in Mexico? Or is it Spain? Okay. Thank you. I thought it was Mexico, but I just didn't want to. I didn't want to just assume. Okay, awesome. So yeah, so this is not full of sugars. This is concentrated yerba mate. Now you're in Mexico. Now this is in Brazil and Argentina. Yerba mate. How many of y'all have heard of yerba mate? I know it's not. I do though. I do know some folks in Mexico that drink yerba mate. But this is a little bit farther south because it's only grown in, if I remember right, Argentina, Brazil, and Peru. Lainey, you've heard of it. Awesome, awesome. This right here, this Unimate, is the best drink on the planet, bar none, in terms of the benefits of health. So they've taken yerba mate and they concentrated it. They didn't put additives in it. They just concentrated. They fire roasted it, went through a purification process. It was hand-picked, and there's no sugar in it. So it won't spike that. So you get all the benefits without anything else. We are just testing your knowledge of where we are. Y'all are good, right? Oh, thanks. I appreciate it, Sylvia. Trying to remember, 'cause I don't see you guys every day. That's the crazy part about it. And as the channel slowly grows and my lives grow, it becomes a big deal. Your mom's drinking it. We do have some that we brew. I like this because it's real easy to mix up in a bottle of water and you just drink it on your go. You can drink this hot or cold. And then the same thing is to go right along when I talk about fiber. This is the fiber that I drink, the Balance, which is a blend of 7 different soluble and insoluble fibers. And when when you look at our picture, it has been again. Your mom is doing the Feel Great system. That's pretty cool. So I'm gonna throw this. I threw this picture up here the other day. Those of y'all are asking about my wife too. So this is us here in Alaska. This is from us fishing this last year. Yes, they do have flavors. Yeah, there's actually quite a few. There's lemon ginger, the raspberry pomegranate. Yes, those are some pretty good size. That's pretty standard for salmon fishing. They just have. I haven't had this one yet. There is a mint chocolate brownie is a new flavor. How can I improve my energy levels? That is a great question. I just did a video today in part about protein. Sylvia, thank you for bringing that up. Well, so a couple of things. That picture was from this last year. This was from summer of 2025. That was from our fishing this last year. So improving energy levels. First and foremost, I'm going to tell you this, and this is going to sound counterintuitive. Get the sugary drinks out of your diet. Whatever you're doing, we've got to detox the sugar. All right. Number one, part of what's happening, I suspect, is when you eat things in bags and boxes and bottles with barcodes, we've got to get that out. That is disrupting everything. All right. We want to not be dependent on caffeine. So but we do it step by step. When I'm helping people, we want to focus on our food, fiber, fats, and proteins. Okay. When I talk, and here, there's a reason. Because now you're going to be filling up with good food long term. You're going to eat until you're full. And when you eat until you're full, you're not thinking about snacking later. What's going to happen, and I know this from my own life, you sit there and go, oh, I'm going to have that donut, or I'm going to have that little candy bar separate from the rest of my food. Well, within just a short amount of time, you just spiking your blood sugar. And then as that sugar comes down, your body's craving more because sugar acts like a drug. It's not actually the energy that you need. So when you are eating in the correct order, your digestion is going to be slower. So your body's going to be tapping into that over and over again. Stress, because I have too much stress. I wish I had the answer to that. Really, Sylvia. All right, stress is so key. So here's a couple of things that I would recommend. Like I said, if you will get caffeine and sugars, actually add to the stress. That's disrupting cortisol. This thing that we're on right now, make sure you turn that off at least an hour before you go to bed. We want to get good sleep. Sleep will help every single day with that. And the blue light that's in here is disrupting the sleep patterns. So really, really important. Well, thank you, Lainey. I'm trying. These are things that I've learned that I wish I took seriously, because you really don't when you're sitting in class. You don't, right? Other things with stress is to, well, I appreciate that. As a nutrition coach, I'm always learning. I'm always trying to learn. I was hoping to hear somebody say that one day, because I didn't learn crap from my health teacher. The first test that I failed was in 5th grade, and it was in health class. I got a 44 on a test. So for me to be doing this now, it comes out of life experience. I have a master's degree now, but so I know how to research, and I know how to study, and I know how to apply things. So, but the other thing is to find a meditation format that works for you. I usually will start my day with time with God. I have a couple of different devotionals that I read. I try to spend some time to quiet myself down. I do breath prayers. My first book was called Life Sucks, Seek God. My second book was called Breath Prayer, or Simply Breathe, and it was all about breath prayer, and how to do breath prayers to find a way to calm. You want to find those places where you turn this stuff off, all this electronics, so it doesn't stimulate us. Oh, that's cool, Lainey. Well, I need to follow your mom. Is she going live on YouTube, or is she on another platform? Oh, I got to watch my time. So, I am quickly running out of time. Did that help? Yoga is a great option as well. That's supposedly going to help your muscles too. Oh, she's on YouTube. All right. That's awesome. What is her link? Yeah, yoga is a great one, Dracula. Thank you for bringing that up. Absolutely. Any exercise will help with stress too. Taking a walk will help with stress. Oh, goodness gracious. Guys, I got to go.